There are truths most men never uncover, and one of them is that women don't always desire what they say they do. Deep down, there are silent wishes, hidden even from themselves, that shape their choices, their attraction, and their affection. These aren't whims. They are ancient impulses, primal echoes that modern psychology is only beginning to decode. Here on Invisible Power, we don't speak about hollow seduction or scripted lines. We speak of real power, inner mastery, the understanding of the invisible forces that rule the human mind. Because the one who understands the mind never needs to control others. His presence alone commands respect. Imagine, for a moment, being able to sense what lies behind a smile, a long silence, a glance that slips away just before it meets yours. It's not about reading thoughts, it's about perceiving patterns. Seneca once said, "He who conquers himself is mightier than he who conquers a city." That idea captures the essence of dark psychology. It isn't about manipulating others, but about unveiling the hidden roots of emotion, yours and theirs, so that no one can ever manipulate you again. Women, like men, live caught between desire and fear. Yet while men tend to express desire openly, women conceal it, reshape it, disguise it behind gestures and words. That's the mystery which, once a man learns to see it, transforms his entire life. Epictetus taught that it's not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. Apply that to relationships and you'll see that a woman's reactions aren't random. They're emotional responses to unseen triggers buried deep beneath logic. Every woman, at some point, longs to be understood without speaking, desired without asking, protected without feeling controlled. It's a delicate dance between power and vulnerability. The modern thinker Daniel Kahneman would say that this desire doesn't live in the rational mind, but in System 1, the emotional, intuitive part that decides long before reason arrives. That's where attraction is born, where connection thrives, and where frustration often begins. Dark psychology teaches us that whatever hides in the shadows holds power over us. The man who can't see these impulses becomes their prisoner, chasing approval, submitting to the need to please, trapped in games he doesn't even realize he's playing. But the conscious man, the one who observes without judgment, learns to detect emotional patterns others ignore. He becomes the man who, without words, radiates calm strength and mystery. Robert Greene would call it the law of silent magnetism, the power that arises when you no longer need to impress anyone. In this journey, you'll uncover the 6 hidden desires women secretly wish men understood. They're not tricks of attraction. They're psychological codes that define how the feminine mind responds to love, power, and respect. They're invisible keys to doors that logic can never force open. But before we reach them, you must understand the ground you're standing on. This isn't a battle against women. It's a battle against ignorance. Because only the man who knows himself can truly read others. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will always bubble up if you look there, here. On Invisible Power, curiosity becomes knowledge, and knowledge becomes inner strength. Prepare yourself, because once you understand what women truly desire, even when they never say it, you'll start playing the game and start writing the rules. To understand desire is to understand power. Most men think attraction is about looks, status, or words, but real attraction begins in perception, in the invisible cues you send and the silent meanings she reads. Every woman, consciously or not, evaluates 2 questions the instant she meets a man. Can I trust him? And can he lead me emotionally? The first belongs to her logic, the second to her instinct. And it's instinct that wins every time. Toxic people, both men and women, know this instinct well. They manipulate it. They sense weakness, insecurity, the hunger for validation. They feed it carefully, creating dependence disguised as connection. As Robert Cialdini explained, the principle of reciprocity compels us to give back to those who first give to us. A skilled manipulator uses this law to build invisible chains. They offer attention, praise, or affection not as gifts, but as bait. Once you crave that emotional reward, they control your behavior. Dark psychology doesn't exist to make you a manipulator. It exists to make you immune to manipulation. When you understand the laws behind influence, persuasion, scarcity, emotional mirroring, and power projection, You stop reacting and start choosing. You stop chasing approval and instead, you become the mirror in which others reveal their true selves. Let's break this down. One of the first toxic patterns is emotional baiting, subtle provocations meant to pull you into emotional chaos. A toxic woman might test your patience with sarcasm or silence, not because she's cruel, but because she wants to feel your emotional strength. She wants to see if you remain centered or lose control. The weak man reacts. The strong man observes. The more you react, the more power you surrender. Remember what Sun Tzu wrote. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. In relationships, the battlefield is emotional. The victory is internal. Another common tactic is the confusion loop. Toxic individuals create contradictions to destabilize your sense of reality. They'll say one thing and do another, express desire and then withdraw affection. It's not always intentional, but the effect is the same. Your mind seeks closure, and in the search for answers, you attach yourself to the very person causing your confusion. That's how dependence is born, not from love, but from unresolved chaos. The antidote is clarity. Emotional clarity is magnetic because it's rare. When you act with consistency and calm, you become an anchor in a sea of uncertainty. Women feel it. They can sense when a man is emotionally stable, and it awakens both safety and attraction. Kevin Dutton called it functional psychopathy, the ability to remain detached and focused under emotional pressure. Used ethically, it's not coldness, it's control. Let's look at an example. Imagine a man named Adrian. He meets someone enchanting, but she constantly tests him. Compliments mixed with criticism, warmth followed by distance. Most men panic in that dance. Adrian doesn't. He listens more than he speaks, observes the pattern and maintains his inner stillness. Over time, her games lose their power because there's nothing to feed on. She either evolves or drifts away. In both outcomes, Adrian wins because his peace remains intact. This is where self-awareness becomes strategy. To recognize manipulation, you must first confront your own triggers. Do you crave approval? Do you fear rejection? Do you equate attention with love? Toxic people thrive where self-ignorance lives. The moment you name your wound, you take back control. As B.F. Skinner said, the real problem is not whether machines think, but whether men do. Most people don't think and they just react. Your mission is to observe, not absorb. Another layer of dark psychology is social projection. People reveal who they are by accusing others of it. A manipulative person will often call you manipulative. A liar will accuse you of dishonesty. It's psychological camouflage. Recognize this, and you can see through anyone. George K. Simon described it as covert aggression, harm masked as virtue. The cure is discernment, not defense. You don't need to prove your innocence. You just need to stay centered in truth. As you grow more aware of these dynamics, your energy changes. You speak slower, listen deeper, and your presence begins to carry weight. Others start respecting you without knowing why. This is what Robert Greene meant by command presence, power without words. When you master this, toxic people naturally avoid you, because manipulation requires reaction, and you've become emotionally non-reactive. So, as you continue this journey through dark psychology, remember, the goal is not control, and it's liberation. To see through deception is to reclaim your freedom. And when you can walk through manipulation without losing your center, you're no longer playing defense. You're leading the game silently. Understanding the laws of influence means little if you cannot live them. True power is not what you know, it's what you embody when no one is watching. A calm mind, disciplined emotions, and controlled energy form the trinity of silent dominance. Dark psychology used ethically is not a weapon, it's armor. It allows you to move through emotional chaos untouched, to influence without deceit, and to command without a single threat. Let's begin with the foundation, self-command. Every interaction you have reflects the state of your inner world. When you lose control, you give permission for others to lead your emotions. When you hold stillness, you become the emotional reference point in the room. That's why people feel drawn to those who remain unshaken. Power is not noise, it's gravity. Each morning, before you enter the world's noise, take 5 minutes of silence. Sit, breathe slowly, and repeat one truth. Nothing external controls me. Do not imagine calm, become it. This single ritual rewires your nervous system. Over time, your reactions shrink, Your perception sharpens and your energy becomes grounded. You stop absorbing chaos, and others start recalibrating around your stability. Now, to apply dark psychology ethically, you must separate manipulation from mastery. Manipulation seeks control through deceit. Mastery seeks influence through awareness. The difference lies in intention. When you observe someone's weakness, do not exploit it, understand it. Use your awareness to create empathy, not dependency. For example, when you notice that someone fears rejection, don't press on that wound to gain leverage. Instead, anchor the interaction in safety. Show that you see them without judgment. Paradoxically, that calm awareness will give you more influence than any trick ever could. As Dale Carnegie wrote, "A person's name is to that person the sweetest sound in any language." Remember that the core of influence is attention, not attention-seeking. Let's explore a mental routine of emotional dominance. Throughout the day, observe the micro-expressions of others, the fleeting tightening of lips, the subtle shifts in tone. Paul Ekman proved that these expressions reveal emotions before words do. By quietly reading them, you step ahead in every interaction. But the real mastery comes not from reading others, it's from mastering your own micro-expressions. Keep your gaze steady. Breathe from your diaphragm. Respond after a pause. These micro-behaviors project authority without aggression. People will feel your presence before they hear your words. Case of transformation. There was once a man who constantly felt used. In business, in love, in friendship. He studied human behavior for months, but nothing changed. Until he practiced stillness, he stopped reacting. He began answering slowly, making silence his ally. When people insulted him, he smiled. When they ignored him, he observed. Within weeks, the dynamic shifted. Those who once disrespected him now sought his approval. Why? Because energy flows toward certainty, and he had become immovable. Here lies another secret. Emotional detachment is not coldness. It's clarity. It means your peace no longer depends on someone's affection or approval. It is the foundation of all psychological strength. When you no longer fear losing people, you stop being manipulated by them. Freedom begins where need ends. Niccolo Machiavelli warned that men are driven by two forces, love and fear. If you remove the fear of loss, what remains is pure composure, the essence of power. To make this real, create 3 daily habits. The observation hour. Once a day, sit in silence and replay the day's interactions. Ask, when did I lose my center? Each realization is a recovery of power. The mirror drill. Stand before your reflection, maintain eye contact for 60 seconds, and breathe. This exercise desensitizes you to social pressure. The emotional reversal. When someone triggers you, label the feeling instead of reacting. I feel anger. Naming emotion converts chaos into cognition. Daniel Kahneman proved that awareness slows System 1, turning instinct into insight. And now, if you've reached this point, you are not here by accident. You are one of the few who seek not to control others, but to master the invisible self. That's why I invite you, ST, not as a follower, but as a student of invisible power, to subscribe to this channel. Because every week, we dive deeper into the unseen laws that govern influence, attraction, and human behavior. Join the circle of minds that refuse to live unconsciously. Here, knowledge is not entertainment, it's evolution. Continue this practice for 21 days. Observe more, react less, speak slower. Watch how the world begins to move differently around you. Not because you changed it, but because you changed your frequency. Power doesn't shout, it resonates. And when it does, others feel it before they understand it. Power isn't about control, it's about perception. The deeper you see, the less you need to speak. The more you understand, the less you need to prove. Real strength is invisible because it lives in restraint. The man who has mastered his emotions can walk through chaos untouched. He doesn't need validation, and that absence of need is what makes him irresistible. Every woman senses this, even if she can't explain why. She feels it in the pauses between your words, in the steadiness of your eyes, in the calm that replaces urgency. This calm is not arrogance, it's presence. It says, I know who I am. And that sentence, spoken without words, awakens the deepest part of her psychology, the desire to surrender to emotional safety. This is where most men fail. They try to impress instead of express. They chase what they could naturally attract if they only stopped seeking. The paradox of dark psychology is that its greatest power appears when you no longer try to use it. Once you integrate awareness into your being, influence flows effortlessly. You stop performing. You start radiating. Robert Greene once wrote, "The most dangerous power is the power others do not see." Let that truth sink in. Influence is not what you do, it's what you are. When you move with certainty, people align unconsciously. When you speak with clarity, confusion dissolves. When you detach from outcome, attraction multiplies. At this point, you must face a question, not to answer it now, but to live with it. If no one were watching and no one could validate you, who would you be? That question is the threshold between manipulation and mastery. Because once your worth no longer depends on others' reactions, you become psychologically untouchable. In relationships, this awareness transforms everything. You stop seeking approval and begin offering stability. You no longer demand love, you inspire it. You no longer fear loss, you create presence. This is what women secretly crave, a man grounded enough to hold space for their chaos without losing his peace. But this journey is not easy. You'll be tested by rejection, by confusion, by people who will try to pull you back into the noise. Let them. Every test is a mirror reflecting your progress. The calm you hold under pressure is your true measure of power. Remember, discipline is not suppression, it's freedom. So tonight, as you close your eyes, reflect on everything you've learned here. You've seen how toxic people operate, how the mind reacts, how emotional control creates magnetic gravity. You've learned that power does not come from dominance, but from understanding, from turning awareness into action. And as dawn comes, I want you to carry one message, the essence of invisible power. You are not here to play the game. You are here to master it, because when you master yourself, no manipulation can reach you, no chaos can shake you, and no person, no matter how seductive or toxic, can take away your center. Ask yourself now, and let the question echo in silence. When the noise fades and the masks fall, will you still recognize the power that lives in your stillness?